You're live on HBCU Coaches Corner with none other than the SWAC legend, Johnnie Cole, and his trusty sidekick. I'm Rocky, man. Coach, how was your weekend?
Man, my weekend was great, man. Did a lot of work, and of course, now I referee high school games, and man, I had a big schedule this past weekend, so it was good. As you know, I got to stay close to the game.
That's a great. So, Coach, from the perspective of an official, do you still see the game as a coach, or do you have a different set of eyes?
You can't take the coaching out because sometimes, I was the umpire, which was out behind the defense.
Oh man, you were in the mix.
Yeah, I'm in the mix now. I got caught in the shoulder one time, but and my job is to watch center guard on each side. And sometimes I get caught up in sometimes watching the formation and seeing what they're doing on offense and that kind of thing, and seeing the blocking pattern. I tell you, it really, really gives me a different perspective of the game.
Coach, let me ask you this. Do you find yourself in the midst of a game looking at the situation and really thinking strategy as well?
Ain't no question, Rocky. That's how my mind goes. Being a civil engineering by trade, and and I see different things. And the other part of it is the coaching part. I could tell when a coaching staff is hollering. That means they ain't done no coaching all week. You know what I mean? And then when I do the sideline, I'm a head linesman as well. When I hear a coach always trying to get a call, I know then that they know they're not that good. So all that I'm just learning so much more about the game, the other side of the game.
Does it, and the last thing before we move on, Coach, has it given you a more of appreciation for the zebras now that you're a zebra?
Ain't no question, but the people attitude and that comes out. It's some referees, it's almost like you got those cops that you give a gun to, then all of a sudden I'm the big bad guy. And I hate to say that, you know what I mean? But then there's some refs that don't care either way, you know what I mean? Because there's always, some type of penalty going on every play.
Is that really true, Coach? That's really true. There's an infraction on every play.
Right. And good refs, as long as it don't have nothing to do with the play, they let it go. They let it go a hold or something, they let it go. So the human error is always a part of any game that moves that quickly.
Well, I mean, that's interesting, and Will, and this is the last question I'm gonna ask you before we move on, Coach. Do you think this experience moving forward will make you a better coach?
Oh man, without a doubt, Coach. Because now the integral part of how they view the game. So if a ref makes a call, I'll know if that's his call. And because I know what ref watch what. A lot of people think when they looking at TV and they see those two refs on the sideline, those two refs on the sideline is not looking for no holding in the line of interior line or even behind the line of scrimmage. Their job is now go to the secondary. And then sometimes when you have like three receivers to one side, that sideline ref has assignment, as well as the back judge has assignment, as well as the umpire has assignment. So then who's watching who, who's supposed to make the call.
Coach, this is the last one. I promise it's the last one. And before, so now that you know what areas belong to what referees, what referee is watching, what official is watching what, right?
Right.
Can you use that knowledge of referee mechanics to gain an advantage when running certain plays?
Oh no. Hey, it was intriguing to me when I first learned and started going to class and stuff. It was intriguing about how things work. But it depends on the mechanics of, is there a 4-man crew? Is it a
Okay,
5-man
okay,
crew?
okay.
Is it a 6-man crew? Is it a 7-man crew? And that's why they increased the refs, you know, the number of refs. You know, you go all the way up to a 9-man crew. So it's pretty tough that everybody ain't watching. But a ref will know, if I'm talking ref, talk to him.
Okay.
That, hey, look here now. You know, and a matter of fact, I've talked to the SWAC ref, the commissioner of the reffing, and you know, just throw my name out there to make sure don't forget me. You know, I wouldn't mind coming in and reffing in the SWAC.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, we're going to move on and we're going to start our preview of last week's action, right?
Yes.
And first off, we had this HBCU football week started early, and when it was a pretty good game, I thought. Going into the game, I kind of thought NCCU would make light work of Morgan State, but it didn't turn out that way.
Right.
It seemed like Trey Oliver and the Eagles were in a dogfight with Morgan State. What'd you think about the game, Coach?
Well, you know, you got to win those kind of games. You know, I talked with Coach Oliver, and he said they got to get better. They got to play consistent and understand that the target is on them. You know, so everybody's Superman. Everybody's, you know, we got to beat the best. You know, and, you know, Coach up there at Morgan State, he's always wanted that job, Coach. And now that he got it, he's going to get those kids playing.
And you know, Coach Damon Wilson, I watched him coach Bowie a couple years ago in the playoffs. He seems to be a very competent coach. And it's the team, you know, this was my first time watching Morgan State, but it reminds me of the Bowie team. Very sound defensively, you know what I mean? Not a lot of penalties. Kind of, I don't want to use the word pedestrian, but I'll use the term basic offensively. Hey, what's up? What's up? The Bishop Campbell tuned in, FAMU alumni, esteemed FAMU alumni. So
hey, he beat my boys. His boys beat my boys this week. Just hold on. Just hold on. The Calvary is coming.
All right. So, and it looked a lot like that. Not pedestrian on offense, but not really a team that's led by offense, definitely led by the defense. And so that lets me know that he has a formula, Coach, of building a team.
Yeah. I look for big things from Morgan State. You know, Coach Wilson, like I said, you know, he worked himself up. He's took Bowie to so many championships. He go across the street, across the way, man, and I know he's fired up, and I know how he feel, because that's how I felt when I got the Texas Southern job. It was something that I wanted.
Okay. When you when you get your dream job, Coach, it's a little something extra.
Oh man, without a doubt. I mean, you know, it's a dream come true, and you know, just to sit in that seat, you know, that first day after, you know, your press conference and all that, you know, you just sit there and just say, ah. So you know, we looking forward to looking for big things from Morgan State.
All right, Coach. Moving on to the next games of last week, we got South Carolina. They handily defeated Delaware State as we both predicted.
Yeah,
there was no surprises in that game. Much like the Richmond, North Carolina A&T game, you predicted this wouldn't be much of a matchup either. And with those games turning out to be, you know, as you predicted, was there anything notable in those games that you'd like to mention?
Well, yeah, you got Delaware beating Hampton. You know, they got a great program over there, a perennial winning program. MEAC schools always have struggled with them, you know, so we didn't expect anything different. Norfolk State and Howard, I had a chance to watch that on television. You know, good even game. You know, they giving Coach at Norfolk State, you know, opportunity to build. You know, it seems like they patient with him. But Norfolk State is a perennial losing program. You know, so it's gonna take a minute, but you know how the days is. It's like microwave oven. We want it now.
Well, Coach Odom's left what I thought was a tremendous job at Southern to go take I'll use your words, to take over a perennial loser, Coach. That's a pretty drastic move. And Coach Odom's had a lot of success at Southern. So again, not being an HBCU guy, not knowing the history of the conference, what would make a guy make that move? Since this is the Coaches Corner and we talk coaching, what would make a guy make that move from a perennial power, very successful program to a perennial cellar dweller?
Well, Coach Odom is from there.
Okay.
So he was getting back home. Probably another guy that had his eye on that program, and had an opportunity to get back there. Like you said, I mean, he had Southern going in the right way, but a lot of other things at Southern wouldn't happen. They weren't giving him multiple year contract. They kept on giving him year to year. You know what I mean? They wouldn't drop the money bag, as the young folks say. And so he decided to take things in his own hands. And I think it had more to do with him getting a multi-year contract than him going year to year there.
Okay. See, that's that inside baseball that you only get on the HBCU Coaches Corner. As a fan, we watch coaches move, we watch coaches get fired, we watch coaches get hired, but it's the things behind the scenes, the things that take place behind the wall that Coach Johnnie Cole can let us know about, because he sat in that chair, he's been behind the wall, he's done it. He's done it at the highest level, and that's why you tune in to the HBCU Coaches Corner. We're going to move on. Did you see anything in the South Carolina, Delaware State, Richmond, North Carolina A&T game that was notable?
Well, Delaware State been struggling forever. Delaware State is sort of like I hate to say it, a Texas Southern, an old Prairie View. They're perennial, they're in the MEAC. For some reason, they hadn't been good since Taylor left there, who played with the 49ers, and they struggled then. And, even they just got a new coaching staff there, and the AD come in, and who I know her, and she knows me. And, they go outside and hire a hiring company to hire a new coach there. And what does a hiring company knows about Delaware State? You know what I'm saying? And what they need. And, we talked about that the last day. You got coaches out there right now, HBCU coaches out there right now, who have been in programs, who have turned them around, and none of them get even an interview. But you keep doing the same thing, but you're expecting different results. They call that what, Rocky? Insanity.
Absolutely. It's insanity.
What I mean? You should be searching for a coach that can turn programs around.
Who has done it before? Who's done it before? So Coach, let's dip into this just for a second. You're saying when you've been a perennial loser, when your program has been down for so long, that's not the program that needs to try somebody out or give a guy a shot. You understand? You're saying you need to get someone in that position who's done a reclamation job before, who's turned the program around, who's actually done it. Those are the kind of guys you need. You shouldn't be giving a guy a shot when you have a perennial loser. Why shouldn't you give a guy a shot if your team is a perennial loser?
Yeah, let's say I got a winning program and the coach bounced. Now I can find me a young coach, either on the staff or a guy got some experience to come in, and stuff is already built. When you got those perennial losing programs, you need an older coach who knows people, who can make calls and get recruits, who knows his assistants are older where they can make calls. You need those young guys to hustle. And see, this is what happens in black college football since I've been around. I have nothing against hiring young coaches. But if the young coach is not taught right and taught properly, then he takes the first head job he gets, like a Delaware State. And then you never hear about him again. Because one thing about HBCUs, when most of them, when you bounce from that head job, sometimes you don't ever get another job.
What you say in HBCU football, there is no second chance you, huh?
Well, I tell you what, it's awfully, you can count them on your hands. The ones have done that and bounced in my last couple of years to another job. It's tough.
If you fail out, out of it, you usually don't get another chance.
Sometimes win, lose, or draw. I don't call myself falling out. I've won championships everywhere.
No, Coach. I was simply saying when you fell out, like you were fired due to losses. Due to wins. Look, we all know that, Coach, in your tenure at Texas Southern, you didn't lose your position because or you weren't replaced because of wins and losses. That wasn't your problem.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then see, when you're a young coach and you take a Delaware State and you go 0-10 in your first year, then you go 1-9, then you go, let's go say you go 2-8. Now you 3-30. You don't mess your whole career up. Ain't nobody gonna hire no 3-30 coach.
You know, Coach. I'm gonna be honest with you. If something would change and I was the president of a university, HBCU in particular, I don't care where it is in the country, right? The one thing if I had to hire one guy, if I had to go get one guy that I believe could change surround, I'm gonna leave you out of this, Coach, because we have a very personal relationship. If I had to go get one guy, it'd be Willie Simmons. That's the guy I'd go get.
Yeah.
That's if I was the president of any college, like any college that needed a turnaround, whether it be Norfolk State, Delaware State, whatever, I put the bag in Willie Simmons' face. He just had to turn me down.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Because he has a proven track record of getting it done.
Yes.
It seems like those guys don't even try after those for those big name coaches like that. But that's what they really need.
And that's what I'm saying. I talk to coaches all the time. I've talked to a bunch of guys. They call, they get, of course, I'm still close to the game. Only thing I'm not is on the sideline. And I hear, they're applying for these jobs, you got older coaches that been head coaches before, and bounce around the conference. And these hard services are just letting people know, letting black college coaches know, guys who finish from black college, man, you got to go coach. You got to get some white experience, basically, some PWI experience before we even consider you as a head coach at some of these places. And it's so off cue. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about this. If I graduate from I don't care if I graduate from a black college. I worked at University of Cincinnati. I worked on the other side. And I guarantee you, you coach your position and you recruit. Everything else is taken care of. You know what I mean? I don't think that I would be as good as I am if I didn't get the black college experience as an assistant coach and as a coordinator. In these schools, Delaware State, we're talking about Lincoln in Missouri. Lincoln College in Missouri, coach, it's horrible. And here's the deal about Lincoln College in Missouri. They play in a PWI conference with Pittsburgh and Emporia, and they get killed every year because they've been losing for 40 years. Since I've been knowing Lincoln College, my friends from Ohio went to school there. My brother and them would play at Central State and beat them. And they will not go and get a qualified guy for some reason. They won't go get one. They won't go looking for one. Well, let's go, Coach. We need to finish.
No, Coach. I got it. Hey, we could look at a group of them. We got Delaware defeated Hampton as we predicted, and the HBCU homecoming queen, Lincoln.
Oh, some Lincoln of California.
Yeah, Lincoln of California.
Because I think they got 6 HBCU schools on their schedule, and all of them homecoming. Come on, guys. What happened to black colleges getting another black college to bring the bands and you can have battle of the bands and you know it's going to be a tough game? What happened to that? I get it. You got to
they scared to lose, Coach.
I get it.
All right. You know, we got Alcorn handling UAPB as we predicted as well. Let me go back on this one. Let me go back here. And then we got Jackson State. I got the score wrong.
Right.
But they did defeat Mississippi Valley 21-6. They were in control of this game the entire time. But they just couldn't blow them out. You know, it was 21-6. It was a garbage touchdown right at the end after being 21-0 for a long time. You know, I mean, Jackson State.
Taylor got to get himself together. He got to get himself together.
Because you expected a better showing.
Yes, sir.
Than this.
And he better than what what the product on the field. I heard his press conference and you know he kind of got out of himself. You know, they got to finish. You know, his kids don't know how to finish. You know, and they turning the ball over and they're not taking things very seriously.
Now they did play a new quarterback in that game.
Right.
You know, that may have had a factor in them having you know, only scoring 21 points against Valley. But I would think that that would also give him opportunity to, you know, put a spark in there, and that spark just didn't happen either. So
I was going to say, Rocky, when you change your quarterback, when you just fed up with your starter, it's about putting somebody in there that's going to produce and do better. They came back and didn't do good at all. What's up, Craig? How you doing, man? It's glad to see you.
We also got Pastor Vic. He say Valley played them good, but you got to take care of Valley. You know, you can't. And then say they don't do that no more, Coach. I think he was referring to playing a tough team on homecoming, playing a competitive game on homecoming.
Well, you know that, and that's rival too. Valley and Jackson State. You know, that's rival. Sometimes you can't throw the record out the door,
out the window.
Yeah, you know, Valley got a long way to go, man. I mean, you know, that's another school that hired a young guy. And let me tell you something else about what Mississippi Valley done that you don't know. Willie Todd. He's the stadium's named after him, Rocky, right? Rice Todd Stadium.
Uh-huh.
All right. He's a NCAA Hall of Famer.
Uh-huh.
He's a SWAC Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? He's a NCAA College Hall of Famer. He has his master's. He's a Sigma man. I don't blame him for that. Mm-hmm. And he goes for the AD job. Jerry Rice makes a call for him, and you don't give the AD job to Willie Todd. I gotta take one out your butt. I wish you had one of them damn horns. Yon, how do you not give Willie Todd the athletic director job at Mississippi Valley? What are we doing, Rocky?
Yeah.
Are we taking it serious?
No, Coach. No, Coach. When you know, again, what Willie Todd is the
icon.
Is the icon of Mississippi Valley, and you don't hire him now. Of course, I don't know all his credentials, but this is what I say, Coach. A guy like that, he's not going to coach at my competitor if he wants to be with me. You understand what I'm saying? Right. You got to find a way to bring Willie Totten in as the AD, as the head coach, as part of your athletic department. Somehow you got to find a way to bring him in my opinion, Coach.
He was the head coach, and he had the last best season that Valley's had in the last, I want to say, 20 years.
Wow.
All right. And he put his name in for the athletic director job. How do you not give Willie Totten the job? And then you say you're serious about football. You're not serious. You're not serious. You're not serious.
All right, Coach. Let's look at the last couple games, Coach. Southern went out to Florida and played Bethune-Cookman, and it was fairly competitive. Southern is an enigma right now. I, Coach, don't know what Southern truly is. Normally you get halfway through the season and you kind of know what each team is. You kind of know who they are. Team kind of has a personality or identity. And I'm going to be honest with you, Coach. After in week 9, I have no idea. Or after week 8, I have no idea what Southern is as a team. They're a team that if they run the table, they go to the SWAC championship. But, Coach, what are they when you play Bethune-Cookman, in a tough game? And I'm not going to say you barely win, but it was way more competitive than people thought it would be.
Let me say this. My evaluation of the conference from my history with the conference. There's no competitive good edge, meaning good teams. You got Florida A&M, they running through the conference, they playing bad games and they winning, by 7 to 8. I agree with you totally about Southern. Coach Dooley, and you got a great staff down there, and I just don't know what's going on. They're not the Southern of old. They're not walking into the stadium confident. When they lost to Texas Southern the last 2 years, and not only lost to them, they got beat bad. You know what I mean? I just don't know what's going on down there, but I know that it ain't going right. They hadn't scored 30 points, I think, all year. And I don't want, I think they played Lincoln. We throw that game out the window.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they scored 30 points on nobody. And I got to look at their schedule. But I'm like you, and you got Jackson State struggling with everybody. Could we say, Rocky, that there's a lot of parity? But the problem is when you look at them playing teams outside of the conference, they get waxed pretty good.
Well, that's another thing. Like, we could talk about that. You take a team like Southern and a team like Jackson State, they really don't have out of conference competition.
Right.
They're not really playing anybody from any other conference other than the SWAC. So,
of course, those two teams, and for again, we FYI out here, those teams right there, Southern and Jackson State, the last 40 years, they've been in the top 5 in FCS attendance. And they average more fans than some 1AA schools. A lot of FBS schools. A lot of FBS schools, they average more fans. With Pete Richardson there, it was off the chart. When Deion Sanders, of course, there, it was off the chart. You know what I mean? So when Marino Cassim there, it was off the chart. So those schools, is important that you hire the right guy. You know what I mean? Very important, because you don't want to lose that fan base.
When you talk about Southern against Bethune-Cookman and going into the fourth quarter, the game is 21-10. You know what I mean? That's way more competitive than what you anticipate that game being. But we'll move on to the next game. And I know you have some feelings about this last game. It's your alma mater, hosted Florida A&M. And at halftime, they were leading 14-7. What do you think about that, Coach?
It's like, I've been watching Texas Southern for 5 years. And for 5 years, they've been doing the same thing. They get out there and then by halftime, they would slow down. You know, when Mike Haywood was the coach there, he were talking about at halftime, they don't have no energy, you know, no energy drink or whatever he was used to in Notre Dame in Texas. I've never heard of it, you know, that you give a kid some energy at halftime and then they come out and play strong. You know, I think that's about how you practice. You know what I mean? The tempo of your practices. You know, you practice early, you're making sure the kids are bouncing around, doing what they're doing. You go to special teams and then come back, you finish strong. You know what I mean? And that's when you get out on that field and you go bump, 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 period, 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 and you off. And I think a lot of that has to do with Texas Southern. I don't know what Coach McKinney is doing.
So they don't depend on getting the kids in condition anymore, Coach. They depend on those energy drinks, huh?
Look. You know, I'm always a coach that I always look in the mirror before I start blaming my players. I've given them all the information they need to be productive. Even my coaches. Real story real quick. I had a kid named Tyrone Butterfield that we had got from the University of Michigan. And the strength coach came in the team office and was like, Coach, he don't like to lift weights and stuff like that. I said, look, I got a question. Does he show up on time? And they said, yes, he shows up on time. I said, where's he at as far as where he's supposed to be at? Oh, well, he's the strongest wide receiver. And I said, do you understand that ain't him, that's you? Then you need to make it more interesting in the weight room that he got to come in there and get things done. You know, so man, I put the information on the coaches. Like I had one kid that was real fast. Well, Coach, he can't remember the plays. I said, well, damn it, find the ones that he can remember.
And let him run those.
And them the ones that he gonna be running. Don't be telling me we gonna have him over on the damn sideline and he running 4.340s. No, sir. No, sir.
Coach,
see,
Coach
that's called personnel, Coach. But we'll get talking.
Coach, that's a great point, Coach. You as a coach, you don't take any excuses.
No,
that's what it sounds like to me.
No,
as a coach, it's your responsibility to make sure the players are prepared and they are put in position to succeed. That's what it sounds like to me, Coach.
Rocky, if you recruit a player to come play for us, then that's on you to get him to know what he's supposed to do. You know, and there's another thing that I see that ref, and I want to get away from that. Our ref, it's no more for the big nose tackle that can't move no more. You got two big old guys, 3-tech in a shaded nose in there that's covering the center and the guard, and he big and he can't run, he can't move. Those dudes are offensive players.
Yes.
They offensive players right now because the game is so wide open. And I see that so much. It's about, you got to know your personnel. You know what I mean? You got to know who belongs where. You know, you can't say, okay, he big, let's put him on the defense. Well, can he move laterally? So that's another thing that I see a lot, that coaches don't make personnel changes.
Absolutely, Coach. And like I said, we had your alma mater. Your alma mater ended up losing 35-21, got outscored I want to say 24-7 in the second half. They definitely needed some type of boost because they got wore out. Looking over the stats, Coach, it looks like what ended up happening is Florida A&M decided to just run the ball in the second half, and they pounded them pretty good, Coach, with the running game to a total of the game total was 255 yards rushing, averaging 5.8 yards a snap. Coach, you're supposed to win that game if you can run the ball at 5.8 yards a snap. Matter of fact, you ain't even supposed to punt if you can run the ball at 5.8 yards a snap, Coach.
you know, they don't know their identity. You know, unfortunately, they don't know our identity. You know, they come from Kevin Sumlin's system, who throws the ball. You know, Menzel and that. But that ain't what you got at Texas Southern. That ain't what you don't recruit it. It seems like you don't recruit better running backs than your wide receiver and quarterback system. Run the ball. All right,
okay.
I gave him the secret. Run the ball.
All right. Hey, Coach, you just dropped the gem right there, Coach. We're gonna move on to next week. Go ahead and get our picks, Coach. We're running a little ahead of schedule, man. I like this, Coach. We knocking it out, Coach. We're running a little ahead of schedule. So we're going into, but is there anything before we go into week 9? Is there anything you want to say or anything just wrap up week 8 and what you thought about it overall?
Well, you know, once again, there's no upsets. You know, teams they're supposed to get beat. You know, the stats sometimes don't show that. The teams that we think that should dominate don't dominate. You know, there's been a lot of turnover and a lot of mistakes, but you know that's a part of the game. You know, you never apologize for a win. You never apologize for a win. So, you know, I guess that's the parity in our conference. He said 21 points in the third quarter hurt us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, we talked about how great of a coach Willie Simmons is. You know, his quarterback, Musa, he don't impress me. You know, does he have the tools?
Tell us how you really feel, Coach.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm going to tell you, Coach Simmons, if he watch it, he'll agree with me totally. He might won't say it. I know he got to cheer Musa on. Musa got the size. He's got the arm. He's got people around him. But he's not consistent. He's not consistent. He throws in the coverage. When he feels pressure, he don't extend his plays. You know what I mean? Now, would I start him? Yeah. But would I replace him if I had someone better? Yeah, I would. So what they had to do was, and what I've seen them in the last couple games is, they got to get that ball to them tailbacks. They got to throw quicks and get that ball to them speed. But Coach Simmons knows that. You see what I'm saying, Rock? He ain't going to sit out there and let Musa throw 40 times. He ain't going to do that. He going to take what they give him, and he going to make the adjustments at halftime. That's what makes him a good coach.
Absolutely, Coach. Like I say, I think Coach Simmons is lights out, and I seen him last year, and I still say one of the most amazing coaching jobs I seen last year was with an undermanned FAMU team against University of North Carolina last year. You know, with an undermanned team in the first half, he gave them all they wanted and then some, with being able to dial it up, create mismatches, getting it to his guys. It was a brilliant coaching performance. Eventually, you know what happens when you play those FBS schools. The depth and the attrition gets. Go ahead.
No, I was going to add this to it, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
no, you good.
Now remember, he had all those NCAA problems.
Absolutely.
He had almost 10 to 15 players out of that game.
I think he had close to 20, Coach. If I'm not mistaken. Yes,
sir. And he played them tough. Yeah, so I just wanted to throw that in there, Coach.
Yeah. But again, he had a compliance team that was able to catch it in time. You know what I mean? And they were able to sit those guys until they were actually eligible. And I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, it was like on defense in particular, it was like half the starters were out on defense. So, like I say, Coach, my daughter goes to PV. I like Jackson State a lot. But at the end of the day, the best coach in my opinion in the SWAC is none other than Willie Simmons. And I really, people say Willie Simmons plays around a lot because he has all these plays and he likes to run those plays that he draws up. And so sometimes it takes him a while to get to the good part. But I think that's what also makes him a great offensive mind, is that he does experiment and tinker with things so that he has a full toolbox when he needs it, Coach. And so I like Willie Simmons a lot as a coach.
Well, you know what I say, Coach? Beat him. Then beat him. You know what I mean? Then beat him. Don't give me all that. Beat him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right, Coach. It makes it it's that simple.
Coach, he's walking through the conference. If Jackson State wasn't so good last year, he'd have won the conference last 2 years.
You know, the only coach he's lost to is Dion. There's no coach in the SWAC. And like I say, you know, I mean, this is what, it ain't even November yet, Coach, and he's pretty much wrapped up going to the SWAC championship. And provided they're healthy, you can plan on if you want to go to the SWAC championship, being in Tallahassee in early December, because that's where the game's gonna be played.
Well, look, I'm telling you that we need to take our show to Atlanta.
All right, Coach.
I'm gonna have my show in Atlanta. We could do our show together in Atlanta at the Celebration Bowl.
Oh, Coach. Hey, Coach. Hey, that sounds like a great idea. And we're gonna have to work on that.
Hey,
have
look,
HBCU Coaches Corner at the Celebration Bowl. That would be awesome, Coach.
And we'll sneak Scotty in.
and matter of fact, we'll pay his travel to the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah,
he happens to live in Atlanta. He lives in Atlanta.
Yeah, we'll have him as a guest on the show.
All right, Coach. Let's go ahead and move on to next week, Coach. And we got some really good matchups. Now, last week, Coach was 10-0. Coach went undefeated. I was 10-1. I picked Norfolk, hoping that they would be able to get by Howard.
Say that again. I was what?
10-0, Coach. You were 10-0.
Thank you very much.
In HBCU football, you were 10-0. You should have went to Vegas. You should have made a lot of money, Coach.
Yes.
I was 10-1. Again, I picked Norfolk State, thinking they would be able to defeat Howard. That didn't happen. It looked good for a while, Coach. Matter of fact, they had them 17-0 at one time, and I thought it was good money, Coach. But somehow, Coach Odoms and his team wasn't able to hold on, and you know they didn't win, Coach. So I ain't gonna cry with spilled milk. I'm gonna move on. It's always another week. We got week 9, Coach, and week 9 we got Mississippi Valley and Alcorn State at Alcorn State. I think this is simple for me. I start this one off. I got Alcorn all day long.
All day long. Alcorn all day long.
All right, we got Jackson State and UAPB. You go ahead, Coach.
I got Jackson State. You know, Coach T.C. Taylor, hopefully get it together. I just don't see UAPB. It seems like they don't fell off. They must have lost some players to eligibility or something. You know, they just fell all the way off.
All right. And okay. Let me go up next is Bethune-Cookman against Grambling. I'll take Grambling. Now, again, Grambling is a team that I thought I knew who they were about 3 games ago, Coach. I'm not sure which Grambling team's going to show up at home against Bethune-Cookman. I hope it's the good Grambling. For my pick's sake, I'm going to go ahead and take Grambling, Coach.
Yeah. I'll take Grambling. I seen Bethune-Cookman play. You know, they struggle on offense, especially in the red zone. I seen Grambling play. I think Grambling is strong on defense. I'm going to take Grambling.
All right, Coach.
Hey,
next up.
I'm going to give you some woo, woo, woo. Upset
alert. He's giving you upset alert, Coach. Well, I'll let you go first on this one then. Prairie View A&M and Florida A&M.
A&M has not been playing dominant football. Prairie View A&M is gonna run that ball, and Florida A&M, they're gonna keep that offense off the field. I got Prairie View in the upset.
Wow, hey coach, you done stepped out on a limb, coach.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you another chance, coach. Do you want to stick with it? You want to go against Willie Simmons, coach? You want to go against Shotgun Willie?
Coach, they hadn't been playing well at all. They've been struggling. They didn't play well against Texas Southern. They struggled. Prairie View can run the football. They got a decent quarterback. They've been scoring points. Upset.
Upset alert. Upset alert. Well, I'm not going to play around with this one, coach. I'm taking Willie Simmons and Florida A&M. Now, I will say this, coach. What you said about Musa makes me nervous. You understand? Because Prairie View has a pretty decent defense.
Yes.
You know, in a game where Musa may struggle, I don't know that Willie Simmons, up to this point, Willie Simmons hadn't been willing to bring in a backup quarterback, and we have no idea what they have. But I believe in Willie. So I'm going to take Florida A&M on this one, coach. This next one, at the Magic City Classic.
Hold on, before we go, because the next one is big game. This is a big game, too. This is the number one team in the West and the number one team in the East. You know, a lot of stuff is riding on this game.
Yeah, coach. Coach, this is, you know, in all honesty, if Prairie View can get by this game, to be honest with you, I believe they have the inside track to winning the West.
Prairie View can't even afford to lose the game, coach. They can't afford to lose a game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because all those guys are tied in that thing. You know.
Well, they do have the win against Alcorn, coach.
Okay, they got PB 3-1. Alcorn 3-1. Southern 3-1. All right, and Grambling is sitting in there 2-2. If Prairie View loses, then Alcorn would definitely go up because they got Mississippi Valley. They'll be 4-1. And Southern is off this week.
No, coach. Let me see. Yeah, I think they are, coach. You're correct.
No, they play Texas Southern.
Yeah, you're right. They host Texas Southern.
So if Prairie View lose, you got Alcorn gonna move up and really, if going by what you said about Willie Simmons, Alcorn and Southern will be sitting at 4-1. Prairie View will go to number 3.
Yeah.
So this is big game.
If they want to, what you're saying, coach, if they want to make their claim to the SWAC to make an appearance in the SWAC championship, they have to win this game.
They got something to play for.
And so, coach, what that would look like, coach, is that would look like them coming back to brag to play for the SWAC championship, coach.
Exactly. This big game, coach.
This could be a preview of the SWAC championship, coach. Well, this next one is a big game, coach. I don't think it means it's a big game in Alabama. It doesn't mean anything as far as the standings, as far as I'm concerned, because both of these teams are out of it. Florida A&M, again, as we mentioned in the East, has firm control of that division.
Yes, sir.
But for what I understand, I'm not a HBCU historian, and I don't play one. But from what I understand, coach, this is a big game, a huge game. This has cost guys jobs over the years.
Yeah, the only team, there's no team, they've already clinched the East, Florida A&M. They clinched it because they've beaten Jackson State, they've beaten A&M, they've beaten Alabama State. If they lose to Mississippi Valley and lose to Bethune-Cookman, it don't matter. All of them finished 5-2, right? But Florida A&M got the rights over Jackson State, Alabama A&M, and Alabama State. When they beat Texas Southern,
they got the tiebreaker.
Yeah, they done. It's over. So we already know that Florida A&M will be hosting. That's another thing. They will be hosting the SWAC championship down in Tallahassee.
Yeah,
So,
Coach. So on the Magic City Classic, down in Birmingham, Alabama,
yeah,
right? Alabama. Tell me how big, because you have coached in this game, if I'm not mistaken, right, Coach?
yeah, several times.
How big is this game in the state of Alabama?
Coach,
Between these two institutions?
coach, if it's not the biggest classic game, it's a close second. This game is heated. As a coach, I felt the heat on the game, the pressure about the game. Everybody come out. And it's held in Birmingham, 60,000. I think they had 62 last year. Big game, coach. Big game. And it means a lot, you know. And both teams are sitting at 2-2.
Some people, you know, I've heard that this particular game historically have cost guys their job.
Yes.
The inability to win this game have cost guys, as you know, guys ended up losing their jobs because of this.
Yeah.
This seems to be a pretty heated rivalry. And is it one of those games, Coach, that you can literally, I know it's a cliche, but throw the records out?
Oh, ain't no question. Ain't no question, Coach.
But it literally, in this game, both teams really want to throw the record out.
Yeah.
They literally want to throw the record out. They literally want to do over for this season. Could this game, with a struggling team, Coach, could this save your season?
Yeah. It can save you. It could give you that one more year. You know what I mean?
You saying this game, winning this game, could give a coach one more year. It could allow him to keep his job, keep his kids in the same house, keep his you know, they can keep from the moving van pulling up. This one game could prevent that from happening.
Coach, you joking, but that's true. That's true, Coach. This is the game that everybody wants to come to, Coach, in the state of Alabama. This game is like Auburn and Alabama. You know, it's the real deal.
Hey, now they say that game is between two factions of people that hate each other. So now I understand what you mean, Coach, when you say it's serious business in Alabama between these two teams. When you talk about Auburn and Alabama, this is a pretty tough game. How do you see this game faring out? We got to go ahead and pick it. I don't know who to pick in this game, Coach. I have no idea. I want to pick Alabama A&M has been playing pretty good in their last outing, and it makes me want to pick them. But Alabama State, to me, has the game that travels better because they have a solid defense, but but their offense can't put up no points.
Well,
so Coach, in this one, I'm gonna take Alabama A&M, Coach. Who you got?
I got to go with A&M. Alabama State can't score. You know what I mean? They average 17, 18 points a game. You're not gonna beat Coach down there at Alabama A&M. Because that's
Connell Maynard. You don't think Connell Maynard?
You're not gonna beat Maynard. You're not gonna beat Maynard scoring 17, 18 points a game. Yes, he gonna chalk up something that you ain't seen, and he gonna get it done. You know, unfortunately, man, Alabama State. You know, maybe this the game that they gonna come out because I got Alabama A&M.
All right, Coach.
By 10 points.
All right, Coach. All right. So we got one game that we picked the first five. We got one game difference. We got Texas Southern and Southern. If this was If this was in Houston, I would go Texas Southern. But since it's in Baton Rouge, A.W. Mumford Stadium, I have to go with Southern on this game, Coach. Who you got?
Hell, hell, hell to Texas Southern. Hell, hell, hell to Maroon and Gray.
So you got Texas Southern on this one, huh, Coach? That doesn't surprise me, Coach. That really does surprise me, being that you're an esteemed alumni.
Time out. I got a call. I got a voice from the back. I got a voice from the back saying, "Are you serious?" No, Coach Dooley, he knows. Coach Dooley can't afford to lose to Texas Southern 3 years. Well, not 3 years in a row.
It'll be 2 years for him.
Yeah. Coach Scott and Coach Todd, my good friends there, I can't do them like that. I want to go with my heart, but I got to go with my head. I got Southern over Texas Southern.
Wow, Coach, that's interesting.
Yeah, you know that's killing me, Coach. That's killing me.
Okay, but I understand, Coach. I understand. I'm, Texas Southern. Looking at their schedule, what are they? 1-7, Coach. 1-6.
They 2-5. 2-5.
They 2-5, Coach.
Well, they beat
Lincoln.
Yeah.
They beat Lincoln. So I don't know if we're really gonna count.
The two wins they got, both teams together is like 1-12, something like that.
Oh my goodness, Coach. Yeah, it ain't much to that, Coach. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't know what to say about that one, Coach. That's just
who you got? You got Southern?
Absolutely. I got Southern, Coach. I said it. I picked it right out the gate, Coach.
All right. Okay.
All right. South Carolina State and NCCU. This is another big game, another big rivalry.
Yeah.
A game that could decide the MEAC. Who you got, Coach?
Man, you got to go with Trey Oliver and NCCU. He didn't have a good game last week, but you need those kind of games to tough it out. I got NCCU.
You talking Davis Richards. I just can't. I can't pick against NCCU. I can't do it, Coach. It's just I got to pick Trey Oliver. I got to stay with you, Coach. I want to go against you on this one. I want the guys to really send Buddy Pugh out on the high horse with a MEAC championship, but I don't think they can get it done, Coach. So I'm gonna have to pick NCCU as well. So we got Morgan State and Norfolk. This is a good one, Coach. This is another good one. These are two programs that are building, right? They're building. Morgan State has shown some life. Norfolk State seems like they just can't get over the hump.
Right.
I'm gonna pick Morgan State on this one, Coach. I think Morgan State's gonna pull it out. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Norfolk. Like I said, I've seen them on film. I like some of the things that they do. All the games they lost has been real close. And so, we got a visitor. Miss Rhonda says NCCU by 6.
You think she don't tell me she's an alumni of
I don't know. That's a good question. She said NCCU by 6.
Okay. All right. Next up, Coach, we got of course, you took Norfolk State. I took Morgan. And on this one, Coach, I'll go ahead and pick first, and I'll let you pick first on the last one.
Okay.
On this one, we got North Carolina A&T and Hampton. Both of these teams have been struggling in the CAA, but I got Hampton on this one, Coach. I think Hampton is the better team.
Look at you, Coach. Look at you. Yeah, A&T is struggling. They lost their coach, Coach Washington, last year. I was with him when he stepped down. You know, we were at the Celebration Bowl, and you know, he felt that he, you know, them moving to that conference, that wasn't his deal. They lost a lot of players. A lot of players left the program. I got to go with Hampton.
Go that. So, can you talk about that, Coach? The impact of them leaving the conference and what that means.
You know, I truly believe that I think black schools have not necessarily lost their way. We gotta be able to think outside the box, Rocky. We got a special product, and we so down ourselves, and we so much look at what they do in the NFL and what they do at the SEC that we have that. We got something special, you know. And I, you know, I always take one out your toolbox. You know, are we serious? You know, are we serious? Do we know our value? You know, but when you know, again, I'm taking one out your box. I wish you had one of them damn horns. You supposed to, every time I say that,
I'll get some. Yeah.
About are we serious? Stop hiring these unqualified coaches. Stop hiring your friends. Make some tough decisions. Take some chances. You know, and hire the right people. And the right people don't necessarily mean that I've coached at a PWI. You know what I'm saying? We can't progress. Stop running from coaches. Look, if I'm in a tough situation, I'm gonna follow a guy to be like, man, we're going this way. And this is why. You know what I mean? And he's a proven winner. I'm following him. I'm going 100. If we going over the, you know, if we in the Titanic, we ain't gonna sit there and be playing music to the Titanic. No, we jumping on dresser drawers. You know, we look, we getting out of there. And if I gotta, you know, speak over you, I gotta speak over you because I'm the coach. I know about football. You're supposed to know about the administration.
Absolutely, Coach. That's
so what. So when they left and went to that school, that conference, A&T and them needed A&T and Hampton more than A&T and Hampton needed them. Mm. You see what I'm saying? We bring the crowd, they bring the crowd, but they only bring the crowd when the team comes to A&T and Hampton. When Hampton and A&T go plays them, they got to bring the band so they can sit and see our kids, you know, do their thing. But when they come to us, they don't come to us.
And they fans don't travel that well.
That's what I'm saying when I say us or they. Their fans do not come to our schools to watch the games. But when we go play there, oh yeah, we got Hampton in the band. We got Howard in the band. We got A&T in the band.
That's interesting, Coach. That's an interesting perspective. So
I still think that if we could come together and put together a package, not for BET, not for some small group just like the SEC, and go sell our package, our black college package, our best games. No telling where we would be, Coach. Where we would be. We just won't work together.
That's forward thinking, Coach. You got to have a visionary when you're doing that kind of stuff. You know, you got to have somebody who sees beyond what people can see right now when you talk about putting together a package. Because there's some great games. There's some great stories that need to be told in the SWAC and in the MEAC. Well, across HBCU football
let's talk for a couple minutes. I know we close.
No, we good. We got some time, Coach.
All right, let's talk. Let's go down the classics. Magic City Classic, 63,000.
Mm.
All right. State Farm Classic, 56,000. All right. Orange Blossom City Classic, Labor Day Classic, Turkey Day Classic. That's 5 games right there, Coach, that we can have every week. So when people watch HBCU football, they seeing our best.
And you haven't even tapped into Jackson State Southern.
Jackson State Southern, Jackson State Alcorn. No, I ain't tapped into that. Bayou Classic, I ain't tapped into that, right? So every week, Eagle City Classic, I forgot that. Eagle Classic, A&T and North Carolina Central. So every week, when they turn on the TV, they see BC, Black Cloud HBCU football, these big crowds. Then they can go all out in the parking lot and we tailgate. We do the same thing they do.
Yeah.
But we take one out your book, hit your horn. You ain't putting your horn. Ah! There you go. There you go. We don't take it serious, man. We don't want to make no money. Yes, sir.
Coach,
that's better than the horn.
What you saying, Coach, is basically what Scotty and other people on this channel and people who have discovered the HBCU space has been able to make a living is there's a huge HBCU following. It's a very popular product. People are extremely passionate about it. And all the tailgating and the large fan attendance that exists right here in HBCU football, but it's largely overlooked because there hasn't been a package put together where it actually goes out to the masses and HBCU gets to show off the pageantry, the history, the games, the stories. There's so much that I've learned in the past 4 years. And my wife here. And the band. I'm a football guy, so I got to get caught up on the band stuff. But yeah, the bands is part of the experience, no doubt.
Why won't we have one of these top African American, perform at halftime? You know what I mean? Why somebody? Okay, we can't pay you what the Super Bowl can pay you. Give half of yourself to the HBCU, and whatever we can pay you, and big performance at halftime.
Absolutely.
Like the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Why we can't go and find a sponsor to get? I mean, what's his name that do the Undisputed? Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Why we can't do Lil Wayne? You know what I mean? Come on, Lil Wayne.
Absolutely, Coach. Absolutely. Look like you're a little froze, Coach. I don't know what's going on, but
we good.
But we can hear you. I can hear you, Coach. Coach, we hit our hour mark, Coach. I definitely want to thank. There's one game we forgot to pick, Coach. One game we got to pick this last game, and I know it's going to be a tough one for you. Lindenwood and Tennessee State.
Ooh, man. Do you see Tennessee State's schedule this year?
No, I hadn't seen it entirely, but I do know some of the teams they've already played.
Coach, you got to hit it because the live timing is not moving.
Okay.
I think we talking to each other.
No, Coach. We still going, Coach. I got us. We still going. It's just froze on your end. But no, Coach, I can bring up Tennessee State, Coach. That ain't nothing for me to do.
I'm gonna take Lindenwood.
You gonna take Lindenwood, Coach? I'm gonna go ahead and take Tennessee State, Coach.
Tennessee State have put together a puff schedule. It's just Tennessee State has just been a disgrace to me.
Really, Coach?
Yes.
And with some of the games that they've been able to win, Gardner-Webb, Kennesaw State.
Look at them. Kennesaw State only won 2 games this year. Gardner-Webb is at the bottom of the schedule. It's bad, man. Tennessee State is better than that, man.
So, Coach, down the stretch, when they have Lindenwood, Charleston Southern, Eastern Illinois, and Tennessee Tech, can they run the table and make the FCS college playoff?
They won't make the playoff because their schedule is just not strong enough.
Okay.
They not gonna make that. All right. And they got all these teams in here. All right.
You back up now, Coach.
Oh, they got University of Tennessee and Martin, who they've lost to. SEMO, they ain't played yet. I don't even think they played SEMO this year.
No, they haven't played SEMO.
Tennessee State sitting at 1-1 and 5-2. Mm-hmm. Okay, they got Linwood, Charleston Southern, which is Linwood is 3-4. Charleston Southern is 3-4. Eastern Illinois is 5-3. Now you beat Eastern Illinois, you're doing something. And Tennessee Tech is 2-5. Norfolk, losing team. Lincoln College, losing team. Kennesaw, losing team. Gardner-Webb, losing team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they ain't beat nobody, Coach. Gardner-Webb has won 3 games this year. 3 games.
So those results are very deceiving. Those are perennially pretty solid teams, but they're in a down year, is what you're saying, huh, Coach?
Yes.
Hey, Coach.
Gardner-Webb was 3-4.
Okay. All right, you got me straight.
They got one winning team. They call it the Big South now. They got one winning team. That's UT Martin. They 6-1. And
they already beat Tennessee State 20-10.
Yes.
Well, Coach, we've reached the end of the show, Coach. We went a little over, man, but I had a great time sitting here chopping it up with you, Coach. It's been another episode of HBCU Coaches Corner. And you know, Coach, you always got to take us out, Coach.
Man, I always tell people, man, I'm a happy guy, man, because, you know, I've been taught to take each day one at a time, man. And the good Lord has really blessed me. I have a mom that I'm going to see and as she always say, if it's God's will, she'll be turning 90 years old.
Man, that's a blessing, my brother. That's truly a blessing.
And I got an opportunity, man, to, you know, if it's God's will, that go see her. And I always say when I end a show, if you feel yourself at the end of the road, tie a knot and hold on tight, because ain't nobody bad like you.
My name is JM&E, and I won $500 on the lunch money for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
What you need to know. Today, it's Friday, October 27th, 2023. Number 1. Mark Meadows, the last White House chief of staff in the Trump administration, has been granted immunity in the federal election interference case against the former president, according to news reports. During conversations, Meadows reportedly shared that in the weeks following the 2020 presidential election, he told the president multiple times that allegations of significant voter fraud were baseless. According to news reports, thus far, Meadows has been granted immunity in the federal case only, as he still faces racketeering charges in the Georgia election interference case, where he pled not guilty. Number 2. Travis King, the 23-year-old Army private, is back in the U.S. after he crossed the demilitarized zone from South Korea into North Korea in late July. King is now held in pretrial detention in El Paso, Texas. His mother, Claudine Gates, is determined to fight charges, and she's speaking out as her son faces allegations of desertion to North Korea. In an ABC News interview, Ms. Gates and his stepfather both emphasized that the charges against him do not align with the peaceful person they know and they plan to fight the charges hard. Number 3, we're more than 3 decades into the AIDS epidemic, and though an HIV diagnosis is no longer seen as a death sentence, the disease is still taking a toll, particularly in the South and especially in communities of color. In a recent HIV surveillance report, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released data from state and local health departments tracking the rate of new HIV infections across the country in 2011. The What You Need to Know newsletter and our partners at blackhealthmatters.com have the list of 25 cities in the U.S. with the highest rates of new infections. Number 4, Anae Roberson, a 30-year-old black woman, was assaulted near Nellie's Sports Bar in Washington, D.C., then hit by a car as she tried to run away, according to police. Officials want to know if her gender identity had anything to do with the assault. She was accosted by some individuals that hit her, which led her to run and ended ultimately in her getting hit by a car. That according to Earlene Budd of a harm reduction advocacy group. Number 5, Tony Gilliard, owner of Tipsy Lady, is bringing her Caribbean-inspired canned cocktails to store shelves at Sam's Club and Total Wine & More retailers nationwide. Launched in 2019, the idea for Tipsy Lady was inspired while vacationing and touring rum factories in sunny Barbados. Tipsy Lady flavors include rum punch, a sunrise mimosa vodka, and mojito. The cocktails feature blends of tropical fruits and other natural ingredients such as raw sugar, lime, mint sprigs, and ginger. Cheers to that. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Life is a series of choices. Choose to restore your mind with mindfulness, positivity, and self-care. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. Barbara Scotia College and HBCU in Concord, North Carolina needs our help. The What You Need to Know team is asking supporters, alumni, and friends of Barbara Scotia to help them meet their immediate and pressing needs by donating to help Barbara Scotia rise. Please join the donors from around the world who are stepping up to save one of the nation's oldest HBCUs. Please visit SybylWilkes.com for more information. And check out a celebration of Black filmmakers rooted in the HBCU culture. That's November 10th through the 12th at Howard University's Blackburn Center. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.